Hey, welcome into the REVO Church podcast. I'm Jamie. I'm the host of the podcast, joined with Katie, the co-host of the podcast.
Hey,
how you feeling over there?
Feeling good.
Yeah?
Feeling good. Feeling
You
ready
get
to
your
go.
legs under you, figuring it out?
Yep, kind of.
And
Slowly
we
but
are
surely.
here today, joined by a man in the middle.
It's me.
Squeezed in.
Let's go.
Yep.
And Josh is here. If you don't know Josh is a missions pastor at REVO. He does many things. He wears many hats, including the one that's on his head.
All the time.
And he is one of my favorite things is he's been known to spend hours just messaging everyone that he knows, inviting them to church, encouraging them, praying for them, messaging them. Like he thrives under that. It's the level of texting and notifications that my brain just like shrinks and gets terrified of.
Yeah, I probably got a maybe 200 text message unread on my phone right now.
It's
Absolutely
just like
not.
Sorry.
amazing. And so, man, like we're joined here with Josh because actually we're not going to talk about his text messages and how if he did not respond to you, it's because he's here.
It's true.
Actually, we're going to be talking about missions today.
Yeah.
Because we've been going through this series, if you've been keeping up with us, where we started with Michael, and Michael came on and he talked about student ministry.
Yeah.
And Michael was giving us all the information about what has student ministry been doing, why is it important, how have we been moving forward, and then we went and we talked about small groups, and we challenged everyone that they need to be a part of a small group. We talked about baptism. We said, how do we do baptism? Is it biblical? And then we moved on to last week, sit down with Candace talking about women's ministry. And we said, man, what does women's ministry at REVO look like? Why is it important? How can you get involved? And so now we're here with Josh talking about missions.
turn.
And so like, I'm excited about it because I minored in missions in college.
Wow.
I believed I was going to be a missionary at one point in my life. Found out that I am. You can be a missionary to your backyard.
That's correct.
So we're going to talk about that
Yep.
also today. But first off, like when we're talking missions, Josh, like kind of set the stage for everyone. Why is missions important?
Yeah, man, good question. Foundationally, like foundation stuff is you're saved to be sent. Sent to your neighbors. So that means that you can be a local missionary, sent to the nations. And then when we're sent, we're actually sent to serve. And so that's that's Matthew 28. That's the Great Commission stuff. That's Acts 1:8. That's going into Jerusalem, Judea, and Samaria to the ends of the earth. That's serving. That's REVO's core value. Serve hard. So that's Mark 10:45. The Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, to give his life as a ransom for many. So when we're doing local outreach, when we're doing stuff at our schools, when we're doing stuff with our strategic ministry partners, that's the why. When we're doing stuff like Western North Carolina, we spent some time there this year. That's the why we're doing it. When we're partnering in St. Lucia or Belize or Canada or Kenya or Colombia or Cuba, we're doing it because we are saved to be sent. We're sent to our neighbors in the nations, and we're sent to serve.
That's like biblical principles, foundational principles, and you have 4 foundational principles, right?
Sure, yeah. Something like that.
Missions. And so every trip, every time we serve, you say these 4 things, right?
Yeah.
So what are those?
Yeah, anytime that you guys let me talk about missions, anytime Pastor Nathan lets me talk about missions, I'm going to say these things. First one is that we are not the hope of the world.
Yeah.
Like we're not the hope of the world. Jesus is actually the hope of the world. And his chosen vehicle to deal that hope, that's the local church. And so like how that plays out is that means that we don't have the answers to everything. We're the ones that are submitting to the local authority of the church. And so that's the why. That's what we're doing. The second one is we want to wrap the towel around our waist. Jesus, when he was getting ready to die, he served his disciples, wrapped the towel around his waist, washed their feet. And so Jesus served, so we serve. It's really that simple. We were actually in Belize one time, and a guy, Greg, was on this trip, and we did this women's night. And the men made the dinner, and we're feeling pretty good about ourselves. And we were we're like, yeah, man, we did this. And we're getting ready to leave, and Greg says, we're not going to leave all these dishes for these women that are like being served right now by the women from our team to do later. Honestly, I was getting ready to go get like hot dogs down in the city. Like, yeah, the answer was I was getting ready to leave. But I said, well, I guess not, Greg. I guess we're going to go wash those dishes. So like, we want to race each other to the back of the line.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We are saved to be sent out to serve. And then the third one is flexibility is important. Now, I probably wouldn't add anything to the Bible. I think that's probably a bad idea.
It's probably a scary take.
Probably not. Yeah. Probably not.
But if God were to ask me if there was anything that I could add to the Bible, I would add a beatitude, and it would be blessed are the flexible, for they will not be broken. Rigid things break. But if something's flexible, then it can move, it can bend, and inevitably in missions, in any ministry, like in life, things aren't always going to go how we want. And so it's like paramount of importance there.
Yeah.
And then I believe that people are changed when they learn about who. And so I say, who is greater than what? Why is greater than how?
Yeah.
I don't care when our teams go serve. I tell all the people that participate in serve days or our groups, like, it sounds bad coming from the missions pastor, but like, I don't care what they did. I don't care that they mixed concrete and that it was by hand and it was hot. I don't care that you did kids ministry. I care about the people you served. So you're transformed when you learn about a relationship. So that's it. Like if everything we do is filtered through that, I believe that life change happens.
I think that's super important to get people's minds wrapped around when they're going off to like a foreign location. I know, like, thinking about it, some of the mission stuff that I've been involved in is more local ministry stuff, stuff with our student ministry, and something that we had to repeatedly tell them was actually the second thing, the wrap the towel around your waist. I remember talking to a couple of the middle school boys that were at the student missions, and they were like, we don't want to do this.
Correct.
And I'm like, it's not about you. Like, Jesus served, we serve, we're going to serve these people. But I don't want to. It's not going. I'm like, it's not about you.
Correct.
I don't want to play the game. It's not about you. Wrap the towel around your waist. Get serving. It's about the who, not the what. I think that's some very important things. So Josh, tell us a little bit about, so that's your broad vision. Like, that is what missions is, right? Missions at REVO. Here's what you're going to be expected. Here's the thoughts. You shared with us kind of the vision. You were saved to be sent. You kind of gave us the, Matthew 28 passage, the go into all the world, the Acts 1:8 passage, that you'll be my witnesses in Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and the ends of the earth. So that's all the setup for it. But now, setup is great.
Sure.
Don't get me wrong. I love that. I love casting vision. I love having all that. But, and this might be controversial, but vision is only as good as what you do with it.
Yeah. Don't talk about it. Be about it.
Don't talk about it. It's what we talked about at church just the other week. Faith without works is dead. Don't talk about it. Let's be about it. And so, man, tell us a little bit about what REVO has been doing in this past year.
Yeah, I'm a numbers guy. I like numbers, engineer by trade. So here you go. This is what we've done. I wrote these down. 398 individuals. Served 7,108 man hours.
That's wild.
44 different ministry partners. That's wild. It's almost 50% of our church. Like, that is insane. And so if you broke that down into days, I did this because, like, again, I like numbers. REVO has served the equivalent of 296 full days.
Hey, is our goal next year to hit the 365?
Spoiler alert, I believe that by the end of this year, we'll hit over 365.
Hey, let's
REVO
go.
will have served a whole year. That's crazy. That's been mission trips. That's been local serve days. That's been our group serving. That's been times that we've been at our like local partner schools. I had the idea at the beginning of the year that I wanted to write down every time somebody served. And so I said, hey, our group leaders, tell me when you serve. I want to know, how long did it take? What did you do? And now people are serving so much that I can't keep up.
You're like, please
Good
stop
problem to
telling
have.
me when you serve.
I got buried in those 200 and some texts are people telling me, like, hey, I served again. I'm like, oh, praise God. I really like that. I need to write that down. But it's not just about like what we've done. Like, our church has been incredibly generous this year. Like REVO is a generous church. Like, generosity is not what we do, it's who we are. And so, man, we've empowered women to face unplanned pregnancies without fear across all of our pregnancy care centers. During the Western North Carolina crisis, just about a year ago, Nathan came on the podcast and he talked about, hey guys, let's wait. I know we want to go right now, but let's wait. And so REVO gave over $30,000 to churches all over Western North Carolina, individual churches that when the disaster relief left, they were asking, we don't know what to do now. I was calling pastors and saying, hey, there's just a church in North Carolina. in Winston, and we just love you and just want to serve you.
Yeah.
I was actually at the Remedy coffee shop the other day and saw one of those pastors. He was in there having another meeting, and he was like, Revo, and he knew the name Revo.
Yeah.
And
That's so cool.
we don't care about the name Revo. We care about the name of Jesus.
Right.
But he knew, hey, there was a church that loved me and served me.
Yeah, I'll piggyback on that for a minute. I think that's good. A lot of times when you're trying to serve areas, like the generosity piece is so important to that, because sometimes we've seen this. I know this. Like, I used to work at a summer camp. Sometimes you got way more volunteers than you know what to do with.
Right.
But you're like, you could do more if you just had the means to make it done. Like, sometimes you got to build an obstacle course at the camp, and you got 17 dudes that are like, I'm going to build the obstacle course. Only problem, you don't have the money for the obstacle course.
Yeah.
And so, like, just the fact of Revo saying, man, we're going to live open-handed with the money that we have. We're going to
trust God with it.
What is it? Over 10% of our budget is divvied out to just missions and giving to mission agencies, mission partners, individual missionaries. Like, that is an amazing piece of the pie as far as like it comes to Revo missions.
Yeah.
And then talking about, you said, like building connections with people. I was at a conference a couple weeks ago, and there was a guy that you actually went on a mission trip with.
Yeah,
that was
Caleb. Yeah,
Caleb from the Sin Network.
Yeah.
And he was telling me about Josh, and I'm like, yeah, I know Josh. He's like, yeah, Josh is awesome, man. We went on a trip and we did all these things. And he's like, man, and Caleb was like, I'm just fired up at how Revo is able to go and serve the area. And that's, I mean, spoiler alert, it's not because of you.
Correct. Yeah.
It's very
God,
simply just God gave a vision, and you're just implementing that vision and allowing people to do that. And so, like, man, that is amazing. The numbers are amazing. The generosity is amazing. But I think there's another piece of that as well. I think, kind of talk to us a little bit about how, like, individuals are being intentional with the mission.
Yeah, man, that's so good. We've had people that are like, "Hey, I feel passionate about this." We had somebody say, "I feel passionate about prison ministry. I've just done it in the past, and they're in our church." And they said, "What are we doing with our local prison?" And I said, "Well, why don't you figure that out? You're passionate about it. You have a call from God on your life, maybe to do this. Why don't you do it?" And so maybe about a month ago, a group of about 12 of us went and we led a church service over at the Cherry Street Prison. And it's a guy, and he built the team. He recruited everybody. He said, "This is what we're doing. This is when we're doing it." And so I love to see that. Love to see our people taking some ownership, initiative, chasing a calling, and I want to get behind that and resource that to the best that our church can, that I can. Our care team just finished decorating a room over at the Sunflower House. That's over at City Lights Ministries. Yeah. So that's a house for women and children in kind of transitional housing as they've exited out maybe of a drug rehabilitation place and don't have a place to land yet. City Lights has said they built a house, and they said this can be a safe place for them. And so Revo is sponsoring one of those rooms for the year, and our care teams got together, and they got all the stuff. They decorated this place. It looks incredible. That's because people felt passionate about it, man. That's, like, for me, that's Matthew 25. That's Jesus saying, I'm separating the sheep from the goats. Whatever you did for the least of these, you did for me. That's our church living that out. And so that just fires me up.
Yeah, I think about, like, some stuff that I've heard, Katie. I know you probably are in the same boat of this, where you can look and you can see where people are doing missions apart from Josh. People are doing missions not because Josh is saying you need to go and do it, but they're doing missions because, man, like, they caught the vision for something.
For sure.
Like, we see that, like, being over our groups, I see that all the time of our group leaders being like, man, like, we're just going to do this thing.
Right.
Why?
Yeah.
Because I care about it.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of times they don't even like talk about it much. They're just kind of fly under the radar. Like, some women in our group went to the Sunflower House and to some of these other mission sites or whatever. And it's like, they don't really talk about it much. They're just doing it for the Lord. Like, it's just so, like, it's really cool to see them being obedient to that.
Agreed. Like, it's God's moving in our people so much and using our people to make an impact all over the world, truthfully, that, like, I can't even wrap my hands around it almost. Yes, and so, like, praise God that I don't know everything that God's doing in missions through Revo. Like, praise God that's happening.
One thing that I find interesting, you had like 700 boxes in your office
Bro.
a couple weeks ago. I remember making the joke. I was like, what, did you turn into a factory? Like, what's happening?
Yeah,
overflowed into the hallways.
Oh my
They were overflow. Like, it was just like, I can't make this up. Like, the boxes, if you stacked them up, like,
it's floor to ceiling. Yeah.
floor to ceiling. Honestly, if you took every box and put it in the end, like, you'd probably like wrap halfway around the world. Like, I don't want to exaggerate too much. Like, I think that was about the accurate amount of size and amount of boxes.
Dramatic.
What? Why? Did you have so many boxes in your office?
You guys know this about me. I'm a yes until it's a no kind of guy. So like, I just say yes to opportunities and people calling. And so we had somebody that goes to our North Campus that works at a place. They work at Haynes, and Haynes was getting ready to get rid of a bunch of inventory.
Yeah.
And they said, "Well, I don't want to throw this away."
Yeah.
I said, "Well, okay." Well, the text was, "Josh, can I send you some shirts?" I was like, "Sure, I'd love to give those to our ministry partners." 5 to 6 pallets later, like legit tractor trailers backing up in my driveway.
Some shirts.
It's just a couple shirts.
It was probably 15,000 shirts. It was an insane amount of shirts. And so I just got on the phone and started calling ministry partners. We gave them to football teams in the area. Yeah. We gave them to local schools for clothing closets. That's cool. Like 4 or 5 different homeless ministry partners. We sent shirts. We're sending shirts to Cuba, sent shirts to St. Lucia, St. Vincent, West Africa. Like, these shirts, world travelers now. Just because somebody was like, "Hey, I've got an opportunity." And so what can I do with it?
Yeah.
You know?
That's really cool.
That's awesome.
That's worth it to have it be spilling out of your office.
Yeah.
God can truly use everything too. Like somebody working at Haynes giving you shirts, and now those are going out to
everywhere
globally.
Yeah.
Speaking of globally, we just talked about our local missions and the impact that the Lord, has used so many people through local missions, and that's super important. But talk a little bit about global. Like, what is REVO doing globally?
So I don't have favorites in missions. I love it. I love everything.
But
I don't have favorites, but
that's how most of those conversations start.
Most of those conversations
start. But I love our global ministry partners. Missionary by nature. It's just a missionary heart. Love caring for them. So look at this list of countries. I had to write this down. So I got this right. Belize, Canada, Colombia, Cuba, Germany, Kenya, Rwanda, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and then West Africa.
That's 10 if you were counting.
10.
That's crazy.
10 countries. We had 100 people serve on international mission trips this year. That's wild. On one trip, we had entire families serving. On another trip, we had age ranged from 7 years old to 65.
That's
wow.
Like, man, God's been building up, encouraging, equipping the local church, our local ministry partners. God's used baseball. He can use anything. He's used baseball and kids ministry, women's events, student ministry. He's used teachings.
Yeah.
He's used baskets of food and worship to make his name famous all over the globe. And that stuff, so fired up about that.
So cool.
And it's really what God's doing in our local, those local partners. Right. So in St. Lucia, there's a school, VG. Katie knows. Katie was in St. Lucia, and we got Pastor Sammy there. And they're developing a partnership that is going to make an impact in his community. Over in St. Vincent, we've got Pastor Dexter, and he's building the first local Christian school on his island.
That's crazy.
In Canada, there's a group called Mile One, and they're planting a church along Canada's I-40 and starting at Mile One. It's called Mile One Missions, and they're starting at Mile One. They want to plant a church in every community everywhere along that highway. It's wild.
It's a lot.
And so TTI, that's a ministry that we're partnered with, the Timothy Initiative. Their vision is to plant a church in every village everywhere.
Wow.
And just, all right, so check this out. I wrote these stats down because this is wild. Just since one project began in one part of the world, almost 9,000 churches. Almost 75,000 new disciples. Yeah. And they've cared and impacted almost 6,000 widows and orphans.
That's insane. That's so, you want to talk about a vision and then being able to, as REVO, be a partner to that.
Yeah.
9,000 churches.
It's nuts.
So that's big time mission stuff. That's long-term mission stuff. But there's something else we do as a church. We do the long-term missions, we do the local missions, but what if people are like, well, Josh, I have a week. Like, I could do a week. I can't. You're talking about giving a life. Like you gave your life to missions, but like, Josh, I can't give my life. I can give a week or two of my time. So what about short-term missions? Like what does that look like at REVO? Is that something that's important? Do we do it? Do we care about it? Why should we? Like, give us a little bit about local missions.
Yeah, we definitely.
Short-term missions.
Yeah, no, definitely. We definitely do it. Katie, why do we go on short-term missions? Why'd you go? You went on one. Why'd you go on one?
I went on one. And yeah, I can speak to my experience. I went to St. Lucia. REVO partnered with Hope and Hope Ministries. A member at Walkertown, Kashawn Bishop, he is the head over Hope and Hope Ministries. Basketball, soccer, all of that stuff, preaching the gospel in St. Lucia and St. Vincent. And so this year we went to St. Lucia. And I know for me, I've always felt like missions is important. I've known that, but it was like me, like, can I go? Like, what do I have to offer to these people? Right. And so I started praying about it. And so if y'all are like, missions, really me? Like, I encourage you guys to just pray about it. Like, God will show you, he'll direct your steps. He did for me. So like, I was trying to, like, I wanted to serve where my gifts were. Right.
Yeah.
And so my gifts, I grew up playing basketball and soccer. I'm
multi-sport athlete.
Just two.
Best athlete in the family.
Probably. Don't tell Matthew.
Yikes.
Kidding. No, but I'm athletic. And so I was like, I want to use that for the Lord's glory. Right. So like, how can I do that? Yeah. And shout out to Josh. He texted me, of course, over the 200 text messages. That's me. That was me. And so he texted me and was like, hey, St. Lucia. I said no last year.
I think I basically just said, hey, you're going to go to St. Lucia with Kashawn.
Yeah, you probably did.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. And I heard
sometimes
it was.
You got to take the no off the table.
Yes, yeah. And I was like, I had to say no last year because I couldn't go. And I was like, okay, so if he asks again, like, I'm going to go. And I heard it was about basketball and soccer. And I was like, that's right. Literally the two sports that I played. Like, that's right up my alley. That's like the Lord telling me, like, go. And so I went. I didn't know anybody. I knew Michael Cavanaugh, students pastor here at REVO, maybe a tiny bit. Sure. And like, that was it. And so, but the Lord was so kind. And so we went down there, our group came together beautifully. It was just unity all through Jesus. And we served, we had held basketball camps, soccer camps, partnered with Pastor Sammy, a local church. I think it's called Ambassador Baptist Church in St. Lucia. And we did construction work there. We held a VBS at VG Primary School. All this stuff. And it was truly beautiful to see. Like, I mean, the island's beautiful, yes. But like the people that we got to encounter, amen to that. The water's beautiful. But no, the kids there, the joy they have when they have hardly anything. Yeah. It's crazy. And like, I know that if you've ever been on a short-term mission trip, that's like, you say that, you see that, but to experience it firsthand, like the Lord moving and working through a small local church in St. Lucia through our partnership was really cool to see. And using like the athletes on the trip of like, saying, I'm going to give my time, teach basketball. And after we taught it, basketball and soccer, we would preach the gospel to them, share the gospel with them, and have conversations, develop those relationships. So super cool short-term trip. Really, really awesome. Can't wait to go back for sure.
Going back?
Lord willing.
It's a yes until it's a no. Yeah. I mean, my story's a little bit similar. Amy and I went to a church in Raleigh, and they said, we're going to Belize. For me, it was Belize. And they said, it's going to be basketball and soccer. And I was like, well, I hoop. Amy coaches soccer, and they said they speak English. And that was it. That was it. And so God used that trip to change our lives. Short-term mission trips change lives. Yeah. Go on one.
I like it. Because short-term missions, again, it's that like, you're not giving your entire life to it. You're saying, I feel God calling me, and so I'm going to take a step and just see what God does with that step. I think that's so encouraging, because just take a step and see what God does. So off of that, right? Off of taking a step, tell us what we got coming up in 2026, because we're on the back end of 2025.
Right.
unfortunately for some people, we're on the back end of 2025. Like, where did the year go? It's almost gone. But 2026 is around the corner. So what does REVO missions look like come 2026? What's on the calendar? What's the plan for the coming year?
Yeah, I guess we're going to peel back the curtain a little bit. Give a little sneak peek.
Let's sneak peek it.
Okay,
I need a sneak peek.
It's about effectiveness. I'm a big believer in effectiveness. I want to be effective. I have some information and knowledge on missions, but I don't have all the world's problems solved.
Yeah.
And so I want to be effective. So I think there's ways in 2026 that our church can be effective. And one of them is leadership development. I want to spend some time developing leaders at REVO for missions in 2026. Like, it's my dream to have like individuals at REVO that know what's going on with an individual partner. Now, we have some of that with Christian that's helping with our prison ministry. Yeah. Your buddy John is really involved at Winston-Salem Rescue Mission. So I want to get to the point where individuals in our church are telling me what our ministry partners need. Yeah. I would love to know everything about everybody, but I can't. I have a finite amount of time. And then I would love for other individuals to come up to me and say, have you thought about a mission trip to insert place?
Yep.
Or saying, hey, I feel like I want to be a leader on the next mission trip to insert place. I'd love to spend time with that. So leadership development. The other next one's our groups, like our group serving.
Yeah.
Our groups have done an incredible job serving this year. Just an awesome job. I want to get to the point where our group leaders like yourselves are the ones that are saying, this is my group. Where do you think we can best serve? And I'm able to platform specific opportunities or ministry partners. We have a good list, but I want it to be even more curated and specific. And then I want to spend some time on the why behind what we're doing this year. I want to give people an opportunity. And I don't know, maybe it's in our group, maybe it's a lunch and learn, maybe it's a course that I do 2 or 3 times a year. But I want to spend some time on missiology, like what does the Bible say about missions?
Big word.
I knew that you would like that, man. And then, man, the next part's more. Yeah. Like we're just gonna do more. We have 3 trips heading out like now. We've got, as of recording right now, we've got 3 more trips for the end of the year, very beginning of next year. And so we're looking at, here you go. We're gonna unveil it right now.
All right, let's go.
So here you go. We're looking at Canada. We're going to help with church planting and outreach. We're looking at Colombia, going to help with kids ministry and mercy ministry. We're going to continue to do what God's doing, build on what God's doing in Belize. And we're going to, that's probably going to be a men's trip, probably a women's trip, probably a summer trip. So we're looking at potentially 3 trips to Belize next year.
Let's go.
St. Lucia. So there you go, Katie.
Let's go.
There it is.
Me.
We already have 1 participant right now, and Katie.
I'm in.
We're looking at a domestic option right now, both within North Carolina. So maybe helping with some Western North Carolina rebuilds, and looking at maybe a city that's within driving distance to help give families that have younger children and may feel uncomfortable about going international an opportunity to serve kind of outside of their comfort zone. And then, man, like I have this dream that I want the church in Belize. Pastor Ed is our ministry partner there. They do some pastors' conferences and trainings, kind of all over the world, but specifically they've been in Zimbabwe recently. And he and I are dreaming about what it would be for a team from REVO and a team from his church, Koinonia, to go to Zimbabwe and put on a pastor's training conference together.
That'd be so
cool. That's, man, just a dream of mine. So many ways to get involved next year.
That's good stuff. So I think the natural question is, if you're watching this, like, how do we get involved in that? Because you've laid out the foundation. You said, here's what we're doing. You are saved to be sent. You gave us the Matthew 28 and the Acts 1:8. You then laid out the 4 things of when you go on a mission trip, when you're serving at REVO, like the 4 things, man. It's not about you.
Right.
Wrap the towel around your waist. Be flexible. You laid out those 4 things for us. And then you gave us all these different things that REVO's done in this past year, man. All the man hours, all the time, 290 some days total that we have served as a church. We're looking at the horizon now. We're looking at 2026. You gave us a bunch of different options. So if you're going to REVO, if the people watching this, they attend REVO, how can they get involved in that?
Oh, that's a great question. So there's a form on the website, discoverrevo.com/missions. That form is...
it'll be linked in the description.
Oh, let's go.
Go to the link in the description.
Click the link in the description. Right now. That's a mission interest form. All those responses go directly to me. And if you don't see anything on there, then email me directly. Josh at Discover Revo. I would love to have a conversation with you about how is God calling you to missions. So There's 2 ways right now. Last one I would say, I just plug it. Go on a mission trip. Yeah. Go on one of our short-term trips this year.
Take that step in faith.
Yeah, and talk to somebody that's been on one. Like, if you're still unsure, you're like, what does this look like? What's going on? Like, you can talk to me. I've been on one. Talk to Josh, of course. Talk to Jamie. Talk to anybody that's been on one. Find somebody and talk to us. And like, we'd love to tell you all about it.
Absolutely.
I think
amazing.
You got to, sometimes just the word of mouth is powerful and important. So what about, like, last thing before we wrap up, what if someone's watching this that's not part of REVO? Or maybe they live like in South Carolina or, I don't know, London. Like, what if they don't live like first city?
Zimbabwe.
What if they live in Zimbabwe? If you're from Zimbabwe, drop a comment and tell us, how did you find this video? Like, just let me know. I'm just curious. But like, maybe they don't go to our church. Maybe they don't live here. Maybe they attended another church. Maybe they saw you, they're friends with you, and so they connected. Like, why is missions important for them?
Yeah, same reason it's important for us, because it's biblical. Like, you're saved to be sent, you're sent to serve, you're sent to your neighbors and nations. That's it. So if you need to know about why to be involved in missions, it's in the Bible.
Right.
And then get connected to any local church and find out how they're serving and jump into it.
Right.
That's to me, that's the answer. Is I think take a step and get involved.
Yeah, and then I would even double down. Like, one thing we do at REVO is we are very, we're open-handed in so many ways. If you are at a church and you're like, well, man, our missions program is like, we're working on it, like, it's not fully there, reach out.
Yeah,
I know, like, one thing that I appreciate is Josh loves to connect with people, and man, he will give you everything that we're doing.
Absolutely.
It's like, here, if you make it better, like, send it to me so that we can get it better.
Definitely.
Effective. What's most effective?
What's most effective? Absolutely.
We don't, it's not, one thing I appreciate is we're all about reaching the city. We're all about reaching the people. We're not about building a church. And so the same goes here with missions. But Josh, thanks for coming on, man.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
This
is
fun.
fun.
Excited. Like, I get fired up just hearing, like, all the like, the thing that got me the most fired up about all of it was just the straight numbers of hours and people.
Yeah.
Because that is people saying that lost people matter to
Correct.
them. That is people saying that I want to see people hear about Jesus. I want to see people feel the love of Christ. And so, man, that gets me fired up. So I appreciate you just being on here, sharing with us.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all for watching the video.
Let's go.
If you made it to the end, take that step. Maybe that's God saying to you, I watched a full video on missions. Maybe that's God saying it's time for you to take a step and go on a mission trip. So if in a week Josh doesn't have messages,
my feelings are going to be hurt.
No. We appreciate y'all being on here. Make sure you join us in the next episode. Peace.